Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news, and we have a metric ton of it to get through. So let's not stand on ceremony, Mr. Wayne. Let's talk about it. First up, Hasbro. Hasbro, I talk so much smack about you, and then you give us a reveal like the MCU Moon Knight, available for pre-order on April 12th from Hasbro Pulse, and it just looks fantastic. I mean, absolutely brilliant. I'm glancing down at the picture right now, and okay, so he doesn't have an unmasked head. That would have been nice, but come on, you're going to want to display him as proper Moon Knight anyway, and this just looks excellent. I mean, it's terrible review quality, isn't it? I think it looks good. It's an excellent figure. That's all I can say. I mean, it's only a picture, so I can't really go into too much detail. But the amount of, speaking of detail, that seems to be with the sculpting, all the bandages, the flowing robes, everything going on here. It just looks like I'm touching myself now. It looks like they've really gone ham on this character. I was debating saying hard or ham, and I just went ham. But my nonsense blathering lets you take a closer look at the picture. So yeah, well done, Hasbro. I know that you had this under your hats for a while, just waiting for that Moon Knight premiere. This is a good time to be Moon Knight. People are really very positive, it would seem, about that first episode, and now you have a chef's kiss looking action figure coming out. I know it's only a render type picture. It's not going to be until people get it in hand that they can really sort of tell what the quality is like. But if you missed out on the 616 version of Moon Knight, you could fudge this into your 616 collection, no problem. I would be tempted to, just because he looks awesome. Really, really great. So yeah, can of Coke to you, Hasbro. It looks like you've really nailed this one with a couple of the moon sickles as well, the different hands. This is going to be a real treat for MCU fans. This guy looks awesome. Okay, you see what you're doing to me, Marvel? You see what you're doing with these last-minute releases? I've got to edit this into the middle of good news because you're literally dropping stuff as I'm editing the episode. Not only have I had to do a cutaway for your MCU Hasbro Marvel Legends Moon Knight, you've dropped the Hot Toys on us as well. So take a look at this. I'm not going to go on for too long about this because I want to be able to include it in the episode and show you guys, but also the audio is not great when I'm holding my camera like this, but I didn't want to be late to the party. So over on Toy Arc, they have been given the exclusive reveal, I think, of the Hot Toys Moon Knight figure. We've only had a real sort of glimpse at the costume so far in the trailer in the first episode, but now you can really take a good look at what this looks like, and it looks cool. I know a lot of people don't like the over-bandaged kind of appearance, but geez Louise, I think there's so much going on with this that looks really, really cool. You know what Hot Toys are going to be like, you know what to expect. Going to be about probably $200 to $300, but it's going to look beautiful, have all the different accessories and different parts you can swap out to customize it however you want. I think this might be an absolute standout of Hot Toys this year. And I just think this character, the design, just lends itself so striking with the white. I'm kind of smitten by this. This looks kind of awesome. As you know, guys, here on Good News, we cover everything from action figures to comic books, movies, video games, pro wrestling, and all points in between. But we always start with the action figures. That's where the bread is buttered, and we're going to go straight over to Hot Toys. They have announced and revealed images of their Loki TV show. Old Loki, I guess they're calling him. Or actually, classic Loki, I think is the correct term. The Richard E. Grant Loki. And this being Hot Toys, you know what to expect. It looks beautiful. It should do, because it's probably going to have a big price tag attached to it. But if you want Richard E. Grant in the ridiculous Halloween costume version of the Loki suit, then this one's for you. I mean, the MCU Hot Toys line is incredible. I'm sure there must be some high roller out there who has literally every single MCU hot toy in a big old display somewhere in Shangri-La, and it must look incredible. And this is a really fun addition. I love what they've done with the Disney Plus shows, where they've tried to find ways and excuses to give the goofy old costumes. We had the Halloween episode in WandaVision where Vision had his Lucha Libre sort of wrestler outfit, and Wanda had her old, what's the name of their... Sokovia, the old Sokovian fortune teller kind of costume. That was really sweet. And now, of course, we've got Loki in the classic comic book costume, played by Richard E. Grant, who's just wonderful. What kind of makes me feel really old, though, is that when I was just like a little kid, Richard E. Grant was like a serious kind of heartthrob, Lothario kind of handsome devil, and now he's playing the old Loki, and I'm like, wait, but if Richard E. Grant is now old, then that means, oh yeah, time is a son of a bitch. But this figure looks like a lot of fun. All the accessories and things that you would come to expect, and now it's going to be released in the second or third quarter of this very year, so coming out very soon. So if you want him, you're going to be able to get him. Defenders of the Earth. Defenders of the Earth. NECA are going back to the well for Wave 2 of Defenders of the Earth. I remember this cartoon very, very fondly from my childhood, but clearly not that fondly, since I only recognize one of the three characters, Mandrake. Mystery and magic spells and delusions. Enemies crumble in fear and confusion. Mandrake. Defenders of the Earth. Defenders. I could have gone on. It's a catchy theme tune. These guys look great. Let me just actually read out who the other ones are, because I can't remember them off the top of my noggin. So you've got Lothar, and then also, of course, Mandrake and Garax. Now, these are retailing for $38. $38, nearly $40. That is a lot of money, considering that I got my gorgeous, looking at him now, Ming the Merciless for £15. Sometimes it pays to hold on and wait for these things to go into sale. But if you can't wait, then you can pre-order them right now. Although if you do slap down your money for the pre-order, you're gonna have to be waiting a little while, because they're currently scheduled for a September release date. So all you gotta do is just grind out that summer, and then you'll be able to get that sweet, sweet Defenders of the Earth nectar on your shelf. It sounded weird. Oh, Marvel Select. They know the power of commerce, and they know how to tap into the popular zeitgeist. Moon Knight. He's the flavor of the month at the moment, and why not? He's got the Disney Plus show out. People enjoyed the first episode. He's running around Europe. He's stealing ice cream trucks and talking to people with glass in their shoes. It's a good time. And Select are like, hang on, lads. We've got a Moon Knight figure. And someone would have said, yeah, but we released that like years ago. It's a pretty shut up and release it again. So, sir, I gotta do it. We gotta release the old Moon Knight. I'll tell you what you can release. So they've released their pretty ropey looking old Moon Knight as a Disney Store exclusive. Guys, if you really want a Select Moon Knight, then go ahead, fill your boots. But look, everyone says I'm always super positive about anything. I'm not going to be positive about this. This looks garbage. It looks really bad. Have you... State of your hips, mate. State of your ball joint hips. What is this, 2001? Get out of here. Absolutely no. This looks bad. Stop me if I'm wrong, but this looks like a real cheap re-release to cash in on what's popular. If you want to release a Moon Knight figure, then knuckle down and make a new Moon Knight figure. F+ for you guys, okay? You've turned in your school report project, and I'm like, you did this on the bus on the way in, didn't you? You just slapped a new price sticker on your old Moon Knight. Get out of here, Select. I got no time for that. Something that does look kind of good, though, is the Bloodsport statue from Prime 1. This is the Idris Elba Bloodsport from the good Suicide Squad movie. I was trying to do an Idris Elba voice, and this sounds nothing like Idris Elba. I'm going to have to workshop that one. Still, this looks really beautiful. This is a Japanese production, I do believe. So going to be available in Japan first, and then find its way over here. So I'm going to keep you posted as to when or where you might be able to see it. But honestly, like, if I'm your first port of call for information, you're in trouble. Like, this is like third-hand stuff that I've gleaned from other, better websites. So, you know, Toy News International, Toy Arc, those guys have the scoops. Whoosh! Those are the up-to-date ones. But then you got this Johnny-come-lately here, and I'm just telling you the news that I find interesting. And I think a pretty-looking statue of Idris Elba, who is in himself a beautiful human being, takes one to know one, obviously. But I think this looks kind of cool. So if you want to immortalize your good version of the Suicide Squad movie on your shelf, I almost stumbled over my words there. Suicide Squad, it's not easy to say. You can get hold of this statue eventually when it's over in the UK or the US, wherever you are. It's fine. This is an international show. People in Peru love model behavior. Did you know that? I got a lot of viewers in Peru. Shout out to you guys in Peru. Super 7 are teasing their Power Rangers Wave 3. Oh yes, with one little picture that is unmistakably the hand of Lord Zedd. Now, this is funny because I've got the Hasbro Lord Zedd, and he comes with this little ball accessory with another ball thing on top of it. I don't know what that is. Threw it straight in my fodder box, and then there's a Super 7 teaser with the Lord Zedd hand holding the ball right there, and I'm like, well, clearly that ball is a thing that does a thing, but I can't remember what it is. And I was watching Power Rangers at the time, but no, that one escapes me. I can't help you out. So guys, tell me what the little ball thing is. Still, that's all we have on this, so I'm not going to dwell for too long, because it's just a teaser. That's all it is. In a couple of days, this episode will probably be out of date, and we'll have a whole slew of pictures of their entire Wave 3. But in the meantime, it's a Lord Zedd hand. And I've got to say, Lord Zedd is one of the most badass looking characters in sort of all popular kids fiction, I think. Just super, super awesome. So I'd be very interested to see what Super 7 do with this. You know, he's probably going to retail for about $50 when he eventually comes out, but I don't know when that's going to be. So when I find out, you will have already found out from other people with more up-to-date news sources. So it's a win for all of us. Congratulations, Loose Collector, for your Monsterhide Kickstarter being fulfilled completely. Excellent. I spoke about this a little while ago. I'm not saying that me reporting on this has resulted in them completing their Kickstarter and going into production, but just there's a coincidence. All right, I'm just saying I put it out there to the action figure community, and then all of a sudden they get all the buys they need. You're welcome. So now you can actually order this at Big Bad Toy Store as well. I guess that now that it's gone into production, they can kind of make as many as they need to fulfill the pre-orders. So you can go over to Big Bad Toy Store, slap your money down, and get yourself a gigantic, monstrous Mr. Hyde. I think this is going to be great for a lot of customizers as well. You have a huge Titan body that you can do all kinds of things now. So this looks awesome. I'm always happy to see a Kickstarter complete and see independent artists go on and make their own things. That's super awesome. Hyde looks super awesome. I'm in a super awesome kind of mood today. Speaking of independent creators making their own things, I saw a little something on Instagram recently. An Instagram creator who goes by the tag of MarveloDad. Check him out. He has been making these Iceman ice slides out of resin, and they just look amazing. I was just flicking through Instagram and I saw this and I was like, oh, I want one of those. I want one of those wrapped around my Sentinel. So it looks stunning. So I messaged him. I was like, dude, those look incredible. And he was like, well, this is what I make. This is how much they cost. And there's even a nice little video on YouTube showing how I make them. And I was like, dude, that's really, really cool. So he said, hey, if you want one, then I take orders through Instagram. I was like, well, you know what? Right now, money's a little tight, as it always is. You know how things are. We've all got to work hard to pay those little gimmicks they send in the mail called bills. But when I do have some spare cashola, I would love to get a little twisty ice slide to go around my Sentinel, because it's going to look so beautiful. But if you want one, then you can message him directly at Instagram, because when I did contact him, he said, like, dude, if you want to kind of like tell your viewers about what I do, then he'll give you some free extra effects, I think worth about $20 to go with the rest of the display. And apparently, if enough people do it, you might even send one of those ice slides my way. I'm just saying that I'm shameless. There's something in it for me. But originally, I will stand by the fact that I came into this as a philanthropist, just saying, dude, I want to talk about what you're making because they look awesome. But if you want to zhuzh up your Iceman, then that's the way to go. Check them out. They look really cool. Going over to movie news now, and Marvel Studios have confirmed Nova is going to be hitting the big screen, and this is kind of exciting. I really love the cosmic side of the MCU. Guardians of the Galaxy just kicked the door down for that, and now with Captain Marvel as well, it's such a whole big new avenue to explore, and we've kind of been introduced to the Nova Corps already. I mean, not kind of, we have been introduced to the Nova Corps already. In the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie over on Xandar, we met the Nova Corps, and they've kind of off-screen been obliterated by Thanos. So I think that was what they said in the start of Infinity War. They were like, yeah, Xandar's kind of been totaled. So at least half of Xandar, you would imagine, is still there. So the Nova Corps should have some presence. But that's all we know, is that they're gonna be doing a Nova movie, which was kind of inevitable, really. I mean, they're just working their way through everyone, so it's about time Nova got a bit of a spotlight. But I, for one, I'm really excited. There's no extra news besides the fact it's happening, but honestly, let the rumor mill start churning. That's what mills do, don't they? They churn butter. You churn in a mill as well. Get back to me on that. Speaking of movies, Morbius is being slammed by critics. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this I think the juice was not worth the squeeze on this movie. After like 2 years of delays, it finally comes out and people are saying, congratulations, Jared Leto. Now not only do you have the worst DC movie character, you now have the worst Marvel movie character. And yeah, I was on the fence about seeing this. Well, I wasn't on the fence. I thought, no, I will go and see it. But honestly, after hearing all of these reviews, I'm like, life is a precious gift. You know, there's going to come a time where I might be lying in my deathbed and thinking, did I really make the most of all my time that I had on this earth? And I'll think, I did go and see Morbius. Can never get that back. So I might not go see that. I'm going to go see Sonic 2. That's something I'm genuinely looking forward to. Morbius just looks like a bit of a slog. And also, I've read the synopsis of the post-credit scene, and I'm like, oh boy, this just... Sony. When you're left to your own devices, you just can't do Marvel. Just co-produce everything with Disney and just get good movies. Because left to your own, you don't know what you're doing. You're bad, okay? Bad Sony. You can't do this. You don't have a single successful live-action Spider-Man movie since, like, the Raimi movies, alright? In this guy's opinion, okay? And that doesn't mean I'm right. It just means it's how I feel. And I did say live-action because Enter the Spider-Verse, that was freaking amazing! Why can't you do that with real people? Unbelievable. But yeah, Morbius, no, not good press on that. And for you Star Wars fans, ObiWan, the ObiWan show, has changed release dates, but only by a smidgen. It's been pushed back from May 25th to May 27th, so you're going to have to wait 48 hours. But as a reward, ObiWan himself, Ewan McGregor, did a little 40-second video saying, hello there. He didn't say it like that, and he said it in his normal Ewan McGregor voice, but he did say we're going to get a double bill of Obi-Wan on May 27th, so that's kind of cool. I've been really burnt out on Star Wars, but I'm still holding on a bit of hope that Obi-Wan might be a return to form, something decent. I mean, McGregor, he's fantastic, you know, that dude's a boss, and it looks like they're going to go in some hopefully interesting directions, so me personally, I'm going to be sat there in front of my Disney Plus on the 27th. I'm looking forward to this one. And if streaming sci-fi TV is your thing, the first episode of the Halo TV show is up for free on YouTube. Not by some like nefarious means type thing, they've just put it up there. And I think that's a great idea, because if you want to get people interested in what you're doing, you gotta put it out there. You know, you gotta give someone a little taster. Be like, you know, hey, try that. That one's on me. Come back when you want some more. Yeah, that's how business works. I'm not a Halo guy, and I wouldn't have ever paid to watch the show. But now that I know I can go and watch the first episode for free, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna give it a go. There's big Spartan guys in armor shooting guns and fighting aliens. I could get on board with that. So yeah, sometime between now and the next episode of Good News, I might check it out, and I'll let you know what I think. And keeping it with movies, just a fun little tidbit, Michael Bay, the director of the Transformers movies, yeah. Remember those? He said in an interview recently that the one piece of advice that Steven Spielberg gave to him that he just feels like he really should have followed was, stop. I could have told him that. Okay, it's not actually that straightforward. I'll give you the proper quote. I made too many of them. Steven Spielberg said, just stop at 3. And I said I'd stop. The studio begged me to do a 4th, and then that made $1 billion too. And then I said, I'm gonna stop here. And they begged me again. I should have stopped. They were fun to do. So in fairness, Spielberg did say he should do 3. But honestly, I mean, I probably would have told him to stop after he handed in the first script treatment. Optimus Prime and masturbation jokes. Why not? That franchise was dead in the water on arrival. Yet also, I mean, don't get me wrong, they made billions of dollars, so clearly, I'm the idiot. But still, let's move on from the Bayformers, okay? Bumblebee was actually quite delightful. Now we're getting the Beast Wars coming up. I'm here for it. So they resurrected the franchise really well, but there was some tough going. There was some tough going in the middle there, in those 4, 5, 6 movies. Jeez Louise. That talking about time you're not going to get back. yeah, that's what those are. Last night. Get out of here. All right, let's move on from that. From talking about the destruction of the Transformers franchise, let's talk about the destruction of my favorite comic book character, Ben Reilly. Marvel, why do you hate Ben Reilly? Why do you hate Ben Reilly so much? We have finally limped to the end of the Spider-Man Beyond saga, and I knew going in I was gonna get hurt, but I was willing to give it another try because it had Ben Reilly back as Spider-Man, and I thought the only way Marvel are gonna give this guy a fair shake is if his appearances make money. So I wasn't gonna wait for Marvel Unlimited. I was like, no, I'm gonna buy each issue as it comes out. Kind of wish I hadn't. So Ben Reilly returns as Spider-Man, and the problem with Ben Reilly, and that's always going to be the problem, is that essentially he is Peter Parker. And then there's the question of, well, why do we need him then if we have Peter Parker? So I understand they feel like they have to change him and make him something else. But then when they do that, he's not Ben Reilly anymore. No, now he's Chasm. I am Chasm. What the hell is Chasm? So at the end of the story, what happens is Ben Reilly gets half of his memories scooped out of his head, leaving a chasm. So yeah, the company that he's working for, Beyond, who it turns out were evil. Who knew? Besides everyone. Yes, the company called the Beyond Corporation turned out to be evil. So they tried to manipulate Ben Reilly by scooping out a bunch of his old memories. So he basically became like this, almost a blank slate, who kind of sort of knew who he was, but he ends up going crazy at the end and trying to force Peter to give him his memories back. And in the end, he ends up sort of trying to sacrifice. He doesn't even sacrifice himself. He just kills himself. That's pretty freaking bleak. Thanks a lot for that, Marvel. The Beyond Corporation decide, well, we have to self-destruct our office building. And I'm sure someone said, right, so shall I just, explode the charges inside and detonate the building? No. We've got something better. Oh, really? What's that? We've got this special liquid polymer that rewrites the anatomical code of different things and sort of turns them into different things. Really? You don't just want to blow up the building? Nah, it's a polymer. Let's release this polymer. So they release this polymer into the building that dissolves and changes and messes up the atoms, and Ben just jumps into it because he's like, I'm bored of this story now. And I'm like, yeah, Ben, I know how you feel. If I was in this story, I would jump into some weird polymer that changes the atomic construction of things too. So he jumps in there, and at the end of the story, we see that he's come out of it and he's all messed up with some purple stuff on him, and he's now Chasm. Whatever the hell that means. Rest in peace, Ben Reilly. Again. For the 5th time that they've killed this character. I don't know. And finally, just a nice little recommendation, something for you to go out and check out if you want to. Sonic Symphony. This is just absolutely delightful. It's a full symphonic orchestra playing some choice tracks from the Sonic games from all throughout its history, and it's just delightful. I know that orchestral arrangements of video game music is not a new thing. It's not like I'm being like, guys, I found this thing, it's never been done before. But this is the first time I've really listened to it to someone gone, I really love this. So I've had this on loop, repeat while I've been editing, and it's just lovely. So yeah, I'm going to put a link in the description. Go and check it out because it's just a really fun time for anyone who's nostalgic for 90s video games and the old Sonic tunes. You're going to love this. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. Thank you so much for watching. What did you think of the stories covered? Comment below, let me know. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
If you enjoyed that video, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But that's not all. If you really want to help out the channel, then go over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior. Just like these people over here. They're not wearing hockey pads. And they all know that you can support my behavior over on the Patreon is what I'm saying. So go over and do that. And what are the drugs? Do you know? I don't know. Alright, go about your business.